Hello, here we are back at the very frustrating issue. We talk about frustration, and this is going to be frustration number 3. And Florencio is going to tell us what it's all about.
Exactly. This is our third video on frustration already. Hope we are not frustrating anyone with the ongoing series. We are trying to understand Mookie Tenenbaum's philosophy of disillusionism. We are focusing on his misalgic theory, his theory about human behavior as derived from suffering, from our attempt to avoid and prevent suffering. And we are discussing frustration, we are discussing the specific pain and the specific fear related with failure, relating to our inability to achieve goals. We have discussed strategies we employ to avoid that, but now we are going to try and analyze what happens when frustration occurs, when avoidance has failed and we have to deal with it. What is it that we do?
One of my favorite fables, probably one of them, my favorite is the one by Aesop. It's called The Fox and the Grapes. The story goes like this. There is a low-hanging grape, bunch there, and the fox tries to jump up, and it doesn't get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Then she looks at the grapes and says, they're still too green to eat. This is, I just show you, what do you do? One way to do it. What do you do when you are frustrated? One of them is to reformulate the goal, to say, it wasn't that good. It wasn't worth my effort, okay? This is one of the ways. And I wanted to start it with this one because I think it's very graphic. What happened with frustration? And there are many ways, many things we use to deal with frustration. And one of them, for example, could be blaming somebody else. Okay, you are trying to put a nail in the table. We'll go back to our example. And when you try, and then you say, these tables, they're not like used to be. They're very hard to nail. I don't know who made this table, or who bought this nail who is totally crooked, it doesn't work. Or the hammer, of course. Yes, I told you, do not use the hammer. Now you use it in the wrong way, and it doesn't work. Okay. Of course, I could blame God. Yes, God doesn't want me to do that, and if God does not want me to do that, I'll never succeed. Of course, I need God's help to put a nail in the table, or to get a girl on a date, or to study medicine. Now, it depends really on what you do. I could say I have tried to study medicine and I failed my exams, and it's because I'm fat. The teacher hates me because I'm fat, because I'm Jewish, because I'm tall, because I'm short, because he's short. It doesn't matter. The blaming game, it's one of the main ways in which we deflect the pain that the suffering that gives us frustration, and take it away. Now, why do we believe in that? That's a very interesting story. I mean, why would I do that? Apparently it works. Why it works? Because we have, I remind everybody, a narrative. And that narrative keeps some facts and some opinions on certain facts, which are not exactly the right ones, but would allow you to sleepwalk, yes, to do fast forwarding in your life, and not to be all the time on play. Yes, you fast forward. It allows you to do it because it gives you the peace of mind you need. Those things now. It's not my fault. The other way, it could be prejudice. You could say, well, this is, of course, I mean, who makes these nails? They make them in China. Don't I know the Chinese? The Chinese make all faulty. The nails are all faulty. So you can use prejudice, again, together with blaming. The other way is let's say you're driving in the car and somebody honks you because there is the green light, and you are angry and you get frustrated because your car doesn't really move, and the guy starts honking, and you think, and there you get, I know what I'll do. When after he goes, I will look for his car. And when I find it, I will break his windows and then I will break his hands. That's called mental vengeance. Mental vengeance is also a great way to deal with frustration. Florencio, before I continue, I see that you have something to say.
No, I was meaning to ask you, because this came up in other videos. These are all, as you say, mental ways of dealing with frustration, but you have also stressed how close to materialism your philosophy is. And we used as an example for vaccines against getting frustrated, chemical alternatives, very direct, the liquid courage infused by alcohol and other performance enhancing substances. I think, and I want to ask you, but I'm almost sure this also applies here. Once frustration has sunk in, we can go simply to very material, physical substances and drugs to deal with it, to cancel it in many ways.
Oh, tranquilizers of the different kinds, beginning with cannabis and going into the diazepam or clonazepam, any of these things, or alcohol, of course, to forget it. I mean, you are frustrated, your loved one left you, and you go, you drown your sorrow in alcohol. Basically, you go, or you fall, or you go into sleep. You try to sleep as much as possible so you're not awake, because when you are awake, you remember frustration. Those are other things, and then you have perseverance. Yes, one of the ways to deal with this is, okay, then comes the stoic flag. Yes, I will continue. It will not. I'm not deterred. I will continue to try to date women, and I will continue to try with them, and I will get the women I am deserving. And here there is all kind of things that you say to yourself. That perseverance is really one of the things I like most against frustration, unless I'm tired.
Well, you mentioned just going to sleep. I guess as in almost every other type of suffering we have been analyzing, distraction, it's a strategy to at least to alleviate, just to take your mind off whatever is frustrating you in any way possible, right?
Well, if you can distract yourself, sometimes it's really hard to distract yourself from frustration. One of the ways it could be combined with that. I mean, you could use hope. I'm sure next time it will be all okay. Yes, you don't change anything, and you will continue to do exactly the same, trying to date a woman, speaking to her in a language she doesn't understand or something that never works. But you have hope. And I remind here, hope is one of the things. I always say that the last thing you lose is hope, and the one before the last is common sense. So, but again, we're talking about how do you deal with frustration? How do you run away from that suffering? It doesn't matter that it doesn't work, or it's not used at long term, or it's a bad habit. It doesn't matter. If it works, don't fix it. Use hope. And then once you have hope, you can shelve it, the issue, and go to watch TV or watch Netflix or whatever your heart desires.
We'll try that so that we don't get frustrated with this ongoing analysis. I think we still have some things to discuss. There might be another video on this same topic, but we are done for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Till the next frustrating video. No. The next video.
If you enjoyed the video, please like it, comment and subscribe.